Okay.
Yes po, good evening.
Mhm.
Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God as we say in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear God, we come before you with humble hearts, seeking your guidance and wisdom as we prepare for the environmental planning exam. Help us to surrender our fears, anxieties, and doubts to you. May we entrust in your goodness and provision, knowing that we will equip us with the knowledge, skills, and wisdom we need to succeed. As we review and study, may we be filled with a sense of humility and dependence on you. May we recognize that our abilities and strengths come from you, and may we use them to serve others and glorify you. May we be an open to learning, growing, and being transformed by this experience. May our studies be a form of worship, and may we honor you with our minds, hearts, and actions. In your name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Christine. So we have development planning in broad strokes. This is a NEDA information, but of course, from time to time, I will update you because madaming new information about NEDA, so I'm still updating it anyway. It has also historical context, especially on regional delineations. So, um, let's see. Okay, maybe you can proceed to, um, that's our outline. We have, of course, you know already what's NEDA. Uh, that's National Economic and Development Authority. So it's the Philippines' highest development planning body and a key institution in formulating, coordinating, and monitoring national and subnational development plans. So again, that's the central planning agency of the country. So if that will be asked in the board exam. So what is its primary role? uh Central agency, I just mentioned it, and then of course also chief agency, primary agency, so these are all the same. uh and it's NEDA's mandate to oversee the formulation of the Philippine Development Plan and synchronizes sectoral and regional development initiatives. So what's the legal basis of the restructured NEDA? So it's EO 230 in 1987. So, and in the restructuring of NEDA, it also redefined its planning, policy, coordination, and monitoring function. So under the EO, number 230, let's see, I'm not seeing it. But anyway, 230, its NEDA is tasked with coordinating development planning, investment programming, and project monitoring. So, can we advance that, Jen, so that I can call some people? Okay, let me see. Um, Mary Joy. I mentioned about the under the EO. So what is the main task of NEDA?
Oversee the formulation of development plans
Mm-hmm.
and
What do they coordinate? I mentioned three key items there.
uh,
Coordinating development. planning.
The national and regional planning.
It's not in the slide actually. Let me see. It's not in the slide, but of course, I I mentioned in my narratives that NEDA is tasked with coordinating development planning. That's number one.
Mhm.
It's also tasked with coordinating investment programming. So, development planning, investment programming, and project monitoring. Can you say that again? Tingnan natin yung recall.
Uh, Overseeing development plans, investment programming,
Right.
and uh, the last nakalimutan ko, ma'am.
Project monitoring.
Project monitoring.
Okay. So, when you will be asked, what's the highest or what's the central planning agency in Philippines? Parang ganun. It's NEDA, di ba? So, okay, can you bring that back again, Jen? The NEDA board. Okay. Regional. Okay. The NEDA board, chaired with by the president. So it's the highest policy making body. Now, you can see there, it's also in the Constitution kasi, it says that in Article 7 or 12 of the 1987 Constitution that the state shall promote a just and dynamic social order. The Congress may by law create an independent economic and planning agency. So in practice, this constitutional provision is fulfilled by NEDA. Okay? So independence refers to, it's because it's an independent planning agency that was mentioned in the Constitution because it refers more to the agency's technical autonomy in proposing long-term economic and development goals and less about its political separation from the executive branch as it remains directly under uh is it under the office of the president still? Um, and that's why, okay, it's called Socio-Economic Development Planning Agency also. So its core function is um not merely infrastructure of land use planning or land use planning, but a broader scope of socio-economic development. When we say socio-economic development, let me see, parang wala naman dito sa slide ko, no? Socio-economic development. Um, so of course, there's economic growth, strategies, poverty reduction, human capital, innovation, and industry development, sustainable development agenda. So this sustainable development agenda is aligned with the SDGs. And that's why we will have a dedicated lecture later on the SDG. So, um, NEDA formulates medium and long-term plans like Philippine Development Plan, and then it also formulated ambition natin 2040. So we will also have a dedicated, you know, lecture on this. Ambition natin 2040 is a long-term visioning exercise adopted through EO number 5, series of 2016. So NEDA has indeed, they have a key role to perform. So what is okay, because it coordinates, let me see. It coordinates physical framework planning through the National Physical Framework Plan. Can someone tell me, okay, National Physical Framework Plan yung ginagawa ng NEDA. And so what's the counterpart, Jumel, in the provincial, in the regional and provincial level?
Ma'am, regional physical planning plan, ma'am.
Ganito, RPFP,
R
Regional
RPFP,
Physical
Regional Physical
Framework Plan.
Framework Plan pala, sorry.
Okay.
Tapos, sige ma'am.
No. Yes, sa region, sa ano, NEDA ito, okay.
Yes,
Pagdating
ma'am.
sa province, ano
Ipo.
yon?
Provincial, ma'am, ah, provincial framework, Provincial Physical Framework Plan,
Okay.
PPFP.
Ah, ah. RPFP for region. Ilagay ko dito na, para sa region. Para hindi lang natin makalimutan. Because they will ask this one. Pagdating sa, this is for province. Okay.
Physical.
Province. Okay. So this is the counterpart. This is the lower hierarchy framework plan. Okay. Now, if you notice, there's letter D in the province. So it used to be PPFP. And then
Ah,
nagkaroon ng intervention. And so you just have to insert P development. So those who are from LGUs, I know you're very familiar with this one. So Provincial Development Fiscal Framework Plan. Dito naman sa region is a Regional Fiscal Framework Plan. Walang D because it's not a local government unit. Okay? And then Jamel, again, at the national level, national,
national, ma'am, ah, nas national, NFPP yung natatandaan ko eh.
NP,
NFPP, National Framework for Physical Plan.
NPFP.
NPFP, sorry. National Physical Framework Plan pala, sorry.
Correct. Okay. So, okay na tayo doon. And then what are at the city level, we don't have framework plan. What do we have at the municipal and city levels?
Comprehensive Land Use Plan, ma'am.
Okay, and then there's another one, the sectoral plan.
CDP is Comprehensive
The
Development
development
Plan.
plan. Okay. Good. So can you tell me what's the difference between, so what is investment programming?
Sorry, ma'am.
Oh,
Investment programming is, po
mm,
yan, ma'am? Ah, ah, Financial aspect po when kung nakapag-create na sila ng framework, so magba-budget na sila to implement the project. Yun yung po ma'am, pagkakaintindi ko sa nabasa ko.
okay. Now, it's still a process, diba? It's still a process of identifying,
Yes.
prioritizing, sequencing, and allocating resources. So, importante, investment programming, because we are talking about resources, na? Resources, and for which are the resources for development programs or the PPAs. So within a given planning period, and it bridges the gap between planning and blank. Jumel,
It bridges the
ano yung dalawa na yon na planning and
implementing
budgeting, okay?
of our budgeting.
It bridges the gap between planning and budgeting by determining which programs and projects will be funded and implemented. how much they will cost and when they will be undertaken. Tama ka naman yung sinabi mo na ano, 'di ba, yung implementation, but of course, when you plan, so there should be a corresponding budget, 'di ba? So
Budget.
planning and budgeting. So it's something like it goes together. So you need to link the plans, ibig sabihin you need to link the plans to budgets. And so that's investment programming. Okay, and mm, eventually, okay, investment programming links number one, medium-term development plans. Then, in the medium-term development plans, so there's a corresponding regional development plan. And then, two medium-term public investment programs. That's what we call MTPIP. And then it also has a corresponding regional investment programs. So hindi programs yung MTPIP is programs because medium term development plan, but it has a counterpart regional development plan. Now there's medium term public investment programs, MTPIP, and then we have the regional development investment program. And eventually to the annual investment plans and annual budget. So you always link plans to budgets. Um, okay, in resource mobilization and financing strategy, so sources may include, what are the different sources, Jamel? So what do you mean by GAA? GAA. So when you're now ready to fund your project, so what are these resource mobilization and financing strategy?
General Appropriations Act ba yun, ma'am? Yung GAA.
Okay, yes, GAA. Ano pa? Ano pa yung sources? 'Di ba from national ito?
And national tax allotment, ma'am? Yung mga ganon? Or,
Yeah, that's the local funds na.
Mhm.
Yung parang IRA dati na.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, because we are talking about NEDA, so what do we get from NEDA?
ODA, ma'am.
ODA,
Grant.
correct. So, ano pa, aside from ODA,
Uh,
ano yung naka-incorporate na ano diyan, na office, where we can also consider it as a financing strategy? Ano yung halimbawa, are bridges or
grants.
roads?
Mga grants, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Aside from the grants, ano yung naka-attach sa NEDA?
PPP, ma'am.
Correct. Okay.
Uh,
Sino yung nagre-recite?
James po.
Si James. Okay. PPP. Okay, naka-attach siya na, no? So, James, can you tell me ano ulit, what was that EO number when NEDA was reorganized? Na-mention ko kanina. Where it designated NEDA as responsible for investment, programming, and budgeting coordination at the national level.
EO
EO
230.
number?
Naka-mute pala ako. 230, ma'am.
Okay, and it was, when was that?
EO 230, kailan na yun? Corazon Aquino yun eh, if I'm not
1992.
Okay,
mistaken. Yeah,
Aquino.
yes. 1992.
Hindi, 1987. 1986 si Kwan, di ba?
July 1987, ma'am. July
Okay.
1987.
Okay, it does not matter. So, at least alam natin 1987 yan, no? And then, the local government code mandates LGUs, di ba? To prepare their annual investment plans to LDIP as basis for budgeting. So, NEDA guidelines and DBM budget call were among those legal and institutional bases um, to harmonize the National Public Investment Program with the budgeting cycle, ensuring alignment between the MTP-IP and GAA. Okay. Pwede na kaya tayong daan sa... So, again, ano yung role, James, of investment programming in planning?
The role of investment programming in planning, ma'am, is to actually to what's the term? Yung para ano na yan, makita kung ano talaga yung resources, ma-identify yung proper funding sources, and
Mhm.
and at the same time, delimit, or I mean, ma-prioritize kung ano yung lang dapat yung priority programs na dapat pondohan po.
Right. So because we are linking also planning with budgeting, so it's the midpoint, di ba, in the planning, budgeting, implementation continuum. So if I ask you, James, what is the primary function of investment programming in the development planning process? A, to implement land use regulations. B, to determine the spatial configuration of settlements. C, to allocate resources to prioritize development programs and projects. And D, to enforce zoning ordinances.
To allocate resources, letter C, ma'am, to allocate resources for prioritized projects po.
Correct. So, very good. I can now, can we go to the next, Jen? Next slide. Okay. Maghanda si Mark, Mark, sandali lang. So you just be ready there because, so we're now, ano na yung pinapakita mo dyan na, what is NEDA? Can you go to the next one? Next, let's see. Management, development planning, and policy formulations. So, yeah, we will tackle that. Development planning, okay. Development planning and so the core mandate, let me just say, yan ako lang. The core mandate is again, NEDA formulates medium and long-term development plans, so including Philippine Development Plan, Public Investment Program, regional development plans. So kasi kasali yung region, So, and National Physical Framework Plan. NEDA also helps craft national policies. So we're there. For example, population management, infrastructure planning, because meron namang PSA, but it's in a, there's coordination between two agencies. It's an attached agency. Also inclusive growth strategies, digital transformation, green economy, ang dami nilang role. So sabi ni James kanina, EO 230 in 1987, it reorganized NEDA and mandates it to formulate continuing, coordinated, and fully integrated social and economic policies, plans, and programs. Also, I mentioned that in Article 12 of the 1987 Constitution, the state may establish an independent economic and planning agency. So it was realized through NEDA. So what is the relevance? Why we're talking about this one? Because this function underpins the alignment of LGU, CLUP, CDPs, investment plans with national priorities. And so what else? Number two is investment programming and budgeting. So again and again, I'll tell you that NEDA aligns programs and projects with fiscal resources via public investment programs. So it's yung investment program, and why do we call that? Because it's a rolling list of priority programs and projects. And kanina si James, he defined it correctly. And so, but because the programs and projects should be aligned with fiscal resources. So NEDA coordinates with DBM and DOF for fiscal alignment. Okay, so Mark, ano yan? Which departments or which agencies NEDA is coordinating with in terms of fiscal alignment?
DBM and DOF, Department
Okay,
of Finance.
okay. So, uh, what is ICC? That's not International Criminal Court, ha? So, NEDA. Okay. NEDA's Investment Coordination Committee, so ICC, reviews and approves big-ticket government projects. Okay? Meron tayong threshold. Before, it was, who knows this, over 2.5 billion subject to thresholds. Mas mataas kasi itong ICC eh. So, but the practical application is that this function ensures that the CLUP, CDP proposals of LGUs can be endorsed for national funding. So, dapat yung mga LGU should be really very resourceful. And the only way to be very resourceful, when you become resourceful, you should know where this money are located, and whose money. So what are the requirements for you to be endorsed so that your projects under CLUP and CTP can be considered for national funding? If this was aligned with PIP, what is PIP, Mark, and PDP? Mark,
Sorry, muted po. Physical investment plan, ma'am, or program?
public investment
Public,
program.
public investment program.
And what's PDP?
Development plan, ma'am.
Philippine.
Philippine Development Plan.
Okay. Now, environmental planners must appreciate, the PPB. Yung PPB, ito yung planning, programming, budgeting linkage. Kanina I was asking about the planning, budgeting. But the midpoint is programming. And so environmental planners should really be very well versed about this linkage. So what did I say about the linkage? What are those three elements, Mark?
Uh, ano po yun, ma'am? The
Okay.
three linkage.
Ano yung sinasabi ko kanina na parang hmm, PPB, PPB linkage
EPD
that
linkage.
we need as environmental planners, that we need to know and very familiar of.
Yung sa
Ano yung nililink natin? Dati I was mentioning but planning and budgeting, and then programming should be in the middle because it provides for.
yung planning, programming, at budgeting, ato, no?
Correct. Okay. Now, then we have the ODA management, the third bullet there. So someone answered official development assistance. So what's the NEDA's role is it coordinates and evaluates ODA funded projects under RA 8182. That's the ODA Act of 1996. Can you tell me again, Mark? What did I say? What's the Republic Act again? The ODA Act of 1996?
RA 9182 ata yan, ma'am.
81, 82.
8182. Oo.
And then okay, 81, 82. It was amended, okay, by RA 8555. So, can you tell me that? Yung buo na, Republic Act? Kasi tatanong din pati yung mga, ano yung mga na-amend.
It was amended on 1996 by Republic Act 8555.
Okay, the RA 81, 82 was amended by, but this one,
RA
the
85.
RA 81, 82, meron bang pattern? Si Kwan ang magaling dito si Sigford. Paano yung pattern mo dyan? 81, 82, Mark, 28, 80, 8555. Pwede bang sardines? From the, I'm not sure. 81, 82, which is the
Yung
ODA
sa
Act 1996.
yung sa 8182, ma'am, yung dalawang 8 lang, ma'am, tapos yung 1 tapos 2. Yung
Amended
8555,
by
yan. Oo. Yung
RA.
sardines na siguro.
Sardines siguro.
Oo.
Okay, very good. So this ensures, okay, NEDA ensures that ODA projects support national development goals. Now, what does it include? So you may wonder, saan ginagawa ng NEDA dito? Their involvement includes project feasibility review, and then loan or grant negotiation, coordination, monitoring, implementation, and outcomes. Okay? Um, that's I'm still in ODA. Okay. LGUs and implementing agencies must understand that CLUP or CDP proposals with external funding must meet both technical standards and development alignment criteria as vetted by NEDA. So NEDA ang nagre-review. Now, I will repeat again. The involvement of NEDA includes project feasibility review, loan grant negotiation coordination. So it negotiates, it coordinates, okay, the loans and grants. And then the third is monitoring. So as soon as an LGU was granted a loan or a grant, they monitor. What do they monitor? They monitor implementation and outcomes. So they don't just monitor what's happening, but did it change lives, or did it improve the quality of life of the stakeholders? Okay, so let me call si Monica. Okay, Monica. So, para tinitignan ko lang, so what should work? Because I did not produce a top notcher in 2024, but I had a high rating of 80+% passing. But in the past, I produced number 1, number 4, number 6, number 9, I think. So, every year yan, meron. And just imagine, yung number 1, dalawang beses siyang na-disapprove for his application. And then, on the third time, na-approve din kasi real estate lahat kasi yung so it's really a matter of strategy yung nilalagay mo ng qualification mo sa certificate of experience. So, okay, now, Monica, I mentioned earlier the NEDA's involvement in ODA. So, can you name some?
Sir, yung ano po, project feasibility
I
review.
cannot hear.
So, project feasibility review po,
Correct.
granting of loans,
Yeah, they
then
coordinate, right?
yes po, and then the monitoring po and evaluation.
So, what do they monitor?
How did the loan affect the
Mhm.
the projects, ma'am?
Okay. So, not really the project, but how did, the outcomes of the intervention, ano yung project. So, yung outcome, how did it affect the stakeholders? Ganun. So, yun yung minomonitor. So, not, uh, so we need to understand that in a practical sense, that one agency who, for example, it gave 2 billion for this particular a project that's meant to improve the lives of, for example, farmers and for fisher folks. And so they monitor how the project is being implemented, and also they monitor the outcomes also. It means these outcomes should be medium to long term, because you cannot really monitor how it affected the lives of the targeted beneficiaries if it's just in a short term. Lives will not change, quality of lives will not change in a short term. Do you agree with me? Okay, Monica?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Now, doon sa still Monica, project monitoring and evaluation. So that's MNE. And so NEDA oversees the results-based monitoring and evaluation. So it's called RBME. Nasa ano yun eh? Nasa TOS natin, sa Table of Specifications. And that's why if we are able to have a very clear grasp of these lessons, of these topics that we are talking about every night, for sure I can produce top notchers. Kuhanin natin lahat yung 1 to 10, ha? Okay. So, RBME. What did I say about RBME? It's a framework. Anong meaning? RBME? Hello, Monica.
Sorry, ma'am. Hindi ko po nakuha po.
Okay, I'll repeat it,
Oh,
ha. So under the project monitoring and evaluation, that's generically called MNE. Okay. There's a system, and this is MNE system, but NEDA applies results-based RB, yan RB, results-based monitoring and evaluation. It means it's RBME. So what is RBME?
um, results-based monitoring and evaluation po.
Okay, so that's the framework. Okay. It includes, in this RBME, it includes results matrices, results, okay? The outcome indicators, so ibig sabihin, outcome indicators means that blank percent of stakeholders were able to um increase productivity of their farm, for example, of their produced. So those are indicators. And also it includes project outcome assessment reports. Performance targets and outcomes are monitored, okay, across government agencies under this system. So there is what we call EO number 2, series of 2019, which was aimed to promote transparency and performance monitoring under this line. So environmental planners, and why we're talking about this one, because environmental planners must incorporate MNE indicators in their LGU plans. And this is I think, in my own perspective as someone specializing in MNE, this is the missing link in our plans. So kanina we had, sabi ni Mark, planning, programming, budgeting. But MNE is always falling behind, because it's something that because nasa dulo siya ng process. So, it's something that akala natin we just monitor, but measuring progress, measuring results is key, especially for agency such as NEDA. So we should be able to produce indicators. So when do we say that we had achieved so much? So we cannot do that without indicators. So this is the role of M&E indicators in our LGU plans. And that's why we're talking about this. And that's why they included that in the table of specifications or the TOS. Now, what's the law earlier about promoting transparency and performance monitoring? Monica?
Ma'am, EO number 2 series of 2019 po.
Okay, that's good. So you try to let's try to check later. Now, PPP, still in that slide, we have PPP. Okay, this is actually I can predict, okay? I can predict that there will be a significant number of questions on PPP, okay? PPP, project coordination and evaluation. What's NEDA's role here? Because it was already attached to NEDA and through the ICC. What's the ICC again, Nika? Not the criminal law, not the criminal court, okay? Where our former president was detained.
Investment Coordination Committee po.
Okay, so that's Investment Coordination Committee. Through the ICC and in collaboration with the PPP Center, NEDA coordinates evaluation of PPP proposals for infrastructure and development projects. So we have a law again. That's RA 6957. I hope you are taking notes, ano? RA 6957 as amended by RA 7718, which is the BOT law, and further updated by the revised IRR of the BOT law in 2022. So we don't need to because meron na tayong law ng RA. So, NEDA evaluates technical viability, risk sharing, and socioeconomic benefits. So, in many LGU projects like sanitary landfill or transport hubs, PPPs offer financing solutions. So we have to understand, as planners, must understand the development impact assessment and pre-FS studies. Okay, it's our domain. You can find that in R8 and 587. What's R8 and 587, Monica?
The environmental planning.
Correct. Okay, so that's the law that regulates our practice. So these FS studies, these are required to elevate such projects for ICC or PPP center support. Okay, so can you tell me the chronology of the BOT law? Ano kanina? So RA 6957 as amended by RA 7718, which is the BOT law, and further updated by the revised RRR of the BOT law, which is in 2022. So anyway, I will be giving you a summary. I will give you all the laws para at least may basis kayo. Pero you need to memorize by this time because tomorrow you will have another set of laws. Okay? Mahirapan tayo. So, again, Monica, can you tell me the two RAs, which law amended what?
Ma'am, the RA 7718 amended RA 6957 po.
Correct. So, you see, that's how you do it. Okay, sandali lang. Let me call Jerome. Jerome, can you repeat what Monica had said? Hi, Jerome. Hi, Jerome. Ikaw, Jerome, ah. Hi. Okay. Ayaw mo, ha? Oh, si Alexis King. Alexis. Monica, can you tell Alexis?
RA 6957 was amended by RA 7718.
Alexis? Sige, punta tayo kay Ken. Ken, can you repeat what Monica had said?
Um,
Si
R,
Jerome, hello.
Hi, sir. RA 6957 was amended by RA 70. Ano po yan? Hindi ko.
Monica, can you tell again? Sige, ay, Alexis, I
Ulit
don't know.
po.
Lahat ha, lahat.
I
Sige.
sige po. Mali. RA 6957 was amended by RA 7718 and it was further amended by the IRR of the BOT law of 2022.
Okay, repeat it, Jerome. Mhm. Balikan kita, I can't. Kaya nga dapat nagsusulat kayo eh. Sige, si Kent ulit.
Hello,
I-repeat,
ma'am.
Jerome, can you repeat what Monica had said about BOT law? Lalabas yan.
Ma'am, RA number 6957 as amended by RA 7718 and was latter created IRR last 2022 for
Correct ba,
the
Monica?
BPO po.
Monica?
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Si Mitchell. Okay. Can you repeat what Monica had said? Mitchell.
Yes po, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
RA 6957 as amended by RA 7718, further updated in the revised IRR of BOT law in 2022.
Correct ba, Monica?
Opo, ma'am.
Okay. Christine. Christine, can you repeat?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
RA 6957 as amended by RA 7718 or the BOT law, revised IRR, further amended by revised IRR of 2022 of BOT law.
Correct ba yan?
Yes po, ma'am.
Further amended. Ganun.
Further.
Okay. Rhea? Thank you,
Uh,
Jane.
RA, RA 6957, known as the Build, Operate, and Transfer BOT Law, was amended by Republic Act number 77 18 and was published in 2022.
Um, Ikaw nga magsabi ulit, Monica. Parang nagbago, no? Okay, sige. Can you recite again, Monica? O, pakinggan niya, ha?
Republic Act number 6957 or the Build, Operate, Transfer Law was amended by RA 7718 and was further amended by the Implementing Rules and Regulation of the BOT Law of 2022.
Okay. Parang lalabay yung ano, no? Yung boses ni Monica, no? Sa Don't sleep ha. Okay, Rhea.
Okay, ma'am. Kasi nadadala ako sa ano ni Ma'am Monica, nakalimutan ko, parang natutulog na.
Oo, ang ganda ng boses niya, di ba?
Yes, ma'am, ang ganda ng
Okay,
boses.
again, sige.
Okay, another is RA 6957 was amended by Republic Act 7718 and further amended by Senator na revised IRR in 2022.
Correct ba yon, Monica?
Yes po, ma'am.
CY. Okay, unmute please. Say hi, CY.
Good evening po, ma'am.
Okay, can you repeat?
Republic Act 6957 or the Build, Operate, Transfer Law was amended by RA 7718, which was further amended by the IRR of BOT Law of 2022, ma'am.
Correct. Correct ba?
Correct po.
Okay. Sigford. Sigford.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
RA 6957 or the Build, Operate, Transfer Law was amended by RA 7718 and further updated by revised IIR BOT Law of 2022.
Di ba? Yun yung palaban, di ba, na boses? Di ba, Sigford? Iba na pagkaka-birthday, ano? You become very energetic, ano? Di ba? Sige, bio break si Alexis. Alexis, can you recite the same thing?
RA 6957 was amended by RA 7718 and then further amended by IRR of BOT Law year 2022.
Very good. Si, bakit nawala si na ano? Kent ulit, si Kent.
RA 6957 or the Build, Operate, Transfer Law was amended by RA 7718 and was further amended by the IRR of BOT Law of 2022. BOT Law.
Okay, Jumel.
The RA 7718 amended the 6957 BOT law and further amended BOT law of the revised implement IIR BOT
IR.
law of 2022. Sorry.
Correct. So, Mark?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you repeat the same?
RA 6957 and was amended by RA 7718 or the BOT law and was further amended in the IRR of in last 2022.
Okay, finally, James.
The Build, Operate, Transfer Law of RA 6957 was amended by RA 7718, which was further amended by the revised 2022 IRR of the BOT law.
So, whose version was really best? Monica. Si Monica, di ba? Because you can even sleep while she's speaking because parang lalabay eh. So thank you, Monica. If this was said 20 times, hindi nyo na makakalimutan siguro, no? Hindi na. So, may pag-asa tayo na mapo-perfect natin ito. So, we can go to the next slide, Jen. Thank you, Monica. So, that one, the structure of NEDA, NEDA board. So, that's the top policy making and coordinating body for development planning and investment programming. So, it's chaired by the President of the Philippines. Then This is NEDA board, not NEDA, okay? Then we have, because this was laging tinatanong itong question na to. So, who heads the NEDA board? And then members include the Secretary of Socio-Economic Planning, the NEDA Secretary. Of course, Secretaries of Finance, Budget, Public Works, Transport, Energy, Environment, Agriculture, Trade and Industry, among others. So that's EO 230 in 1987. And so, why do we need to know this one? Because all development programs and flagship projects pass through this board. Regional and local plans also must align with its priorities. So who are the interagency committees? So you can see there. Yeah, these are specialized committees under NEDA board that focus on sectoral, on thematic, or cross-cutting concerns. And it comprises the ICC, yung kanina, Investment Coordination Committee, Infrastructure Committee, that's why they call it Infracom, Social Dev Committee, Regional Development Committee, Committee on Social Protection, etc. And so they evaluate plans, assess policies, and provide technical advice before matters are escalated to the NEDA board. So, the attached agencies there, these agencies are functionally, let's see, nandito pala sa next page. But anyway, these agencies are functionally attached to NEDA for policy and program coordination, even if they have their own mandates and charters. So, number one is Philippine Statistics Authority, and used to be NSO. It provides for, it provides for statistics for planning and policy. Then we have the research arm, development research arm, which is called the Philippine Institute for Development Studies, the PIDS. And then Tariff Commission, and then PPP Center. And then I'm very familiar with this Philippine National Volunteer Service Coordinating Agency. I remember parang when I was very young, parang graduate ko. So I was, I had a special project, like I taught English to a Japanese volunteer. So you call it, that's why I can say PNVSCA. So PNVSCA, Philippine National Volunteer Service Coordinating Agency. And then legal basis is EO 230 pa din. So these agencies are data sources, technical advisors, and gateways for funding or project development for LGUs, for uh, regions, So, meron ding, I remember during our time, it asked about NEDA Secretariat. So, who provides for the technical and operational arm of the NEDA board? Answer, NEDA Secretariat. Okay? So, it's headed by the Secretary of Socio-Economic Planning, so who also serves as Director General of NEDA. And it's responsible for coordinating plan formulation, evaluating investments, monitoring implementation. Just imagine what I'm saying, okay? It coordinates plan, it evaluates investments, it monitors implementation, it conducts policy research. So imagine nyo lang yung task na yon. Then, operating NEDA offices, okay, and interagency mechanism. So that's the role of NEDA Secretariat, operating NEDA offices, because in each region there's NEDA Secretariat, okay, and of course also coordinates interagency, mechanisms. So all plan formulation and monitoring activities from national to regional levels are anchored on the Secretariat's work. Okay, so it's very important. So there are two offices in the hierarchy. NEDA Central Office and NEDA Regional Offices. Regional offices. So there is the central office is located in Pasig, right? That's the main operational center. And then it houses, the sectoral planning staff from ang dami lang department and there are many divisions. So agriculture, infra, trade, so kompleto. Social, M&E, policy formulation, and it serves as the nerve center for plan integration and communication between national and regional offices. Okay? And then the regional offices, we normally call that ENRO. Okay? Like ENRO and yung environment, but before na merong ENRO, ganyan, and this, we normally call it NRO. So, ENROs. And kung ilan yung region, so yun yung number of NROs in the Philippines. So, each office coordinates with the Regional Development Council and supports the preparation of the different plans. So, can we go to the next slide, Jen? Tingnan natin. Ayan. Investment coordinating, development budget. Kasi, which among the following is not part of NEDA Interagency Committee? So, questions like that. So, please, while you are seeing that slide, dapat kabisaduhin na natin. Okay? All right. So, can we go to the next slide? Natin. So, I also mentioned about national statistics. Pero wala na kasing national statistical coordinating board. Just a moment dyan. Yan nakalang. So, okay, let me see. Ano na yung mga nawala na? Okay, that one, the NSCB, National Statistical Coordinating Board, has been abolished. So under RA 10625, the Philippine Statistical Act of 2013, NSCB was merged into PSA. So RA 10625, that's the Philippine Statistical Act of 2013. I think it's important to remember. So yeah, that's now the Central Statistical Authority of Government. And of course, it conducts. So what's the role of PSA? It conducts population and housing censuses. It also conducts economic surveys. Kasi baka, what are the functions of, so which among the following is not a function of PSA? So, A, population and housing censuses. B, economic surveys. C, poverty incidence. 4, D, GDP and employment. E, all of the above, James.
Ma'am, paulit yung question pero functions po, which is not a function ba or which are
Not.
function?
Oo nga pala, no? Because all of the above.
Yeah.
Sige, which
Pero
are uh, which are the functions na lang so that I
All
can
of the above po.
that's the most ano no. Pero you
Hindi
know
kasi
what? Ah,
all of the above ma'am based dun sa ano RA.
uh You know,
Naman.
in the boards, the safest one is pag positive lahat, ganyan, ano, and then you can see the harmony, you can see the logic, and you can see parang ano siya, the interrelationship, then you can safely say all of the above, no? Meron yung board exam na year na halos lahat ng answer yata is, yung mostly naman, yung parang karamihan are all of the above. Ganyan. So, it would be good to, parang test-taking strategy na kapag it's asking about PSA, so about statistics, you should know also ano yung pwedeng isali doon at yung hindi, ganun. So it also, small area statistics and LGU level data. So kapag walang, okay. What's the alternative survey in place of the PSA data, James?
Alternative survey po. Is it the CBMS?
CBMS. Can you tell, okay, because you're from LGU, can you tell your core reviews about CBMS and the role?
Actually, ma'am, the CBMS is it's done dati it's just a part of one of the DILG ano, pero because of the CBMS law
Mm-hmm.
naging ano na po siya
Mm-mm.
ano to? Mandatory po. So it is a technology-based system mandated by the PSA to collect, process, and validate local level data for planning and program implementation, and of course, impact monitoring.
Okay, so there's also impact monitoring, no?
Yes po.
You did not spell out yet for the sake of
The
for those people who are in private.
the CBMS ma'am stands for Community-Based Monitoring System. It was institutionalized by RA 11 11315. Yes po.
Okay. So,
In 2019.
I hope everyone heard about that. It may be new, especially to people from the private sector. Si Jumel ba? Do you know that?
Sorry, mapaulit po.
Okay. Ulitin ni James for you.
Okay po. CBMS po stands for Community-Based Monitoring System, which is a technology-based system mandated by the Philippine Statistics Authority to collect, process, and validate local level data for planning, for program implementation, and impact monitoring. Actually, the purpose of the CBMS is to provide policymakers and program implementers with a good information about the local level. And it was institutionalized by virtue of RA 11315, also known as the Community-Based Monitoring System Act of 2019 po.
Ang haba, di ba? So I'm sure because it's already it's already a law, it has become a law. This used to be a tool. When I was with the ILG, James, it's just a tool. It's not mandatory. So only those
Yes, ma'am.
people who can appreciate and those who can be, contented or who rely solely on then NSO data. So, yan, it's just a mere tool, and then now it has become a law. So especially for the private sector, they're not really very much aware of that. If it relies on PSA data, did you say it's mandatory? So what if they will not, if a city government or a municipal government will not choose CBMS? What happens? Their plan will not be approved,
If they
James?
will not use the CBMS, ma'am?
Uh-uh.
Actually, I really am not aware kung hindi namin gagamitin yon. Pero
Mm-mm.
kasi ngayon, ang ginagawa kasi ng PSA ngayon, ma'am, is pinagsasabay ang POPSEN at saka CBMS. So,
Mm.
and then after that, they give the data to us through the data protection officers of each LGU po and statistician. So,
Mm.
for us in the LGU, mas mabilis pong gamitin yon kaysa sa PSA, which is done every 5 and 10 years. Yung CBMS po, we are mandated to do it twice, every 2 years po.
Okay. So, I hope LG appreciates that. Jumel, are you very much aware of CBMS?
Ma'am, actually, never heard. Ngayon ko
Uh,
lang narinig.
okay,
Ngayon
okay.
ko lang
So,
narinig.
yeah, it's not really very surprising kasi the private sector nga they don't really know CBMS.
Ma'am,
Uh,
medyo delayed lang po siguro yung data ng CBMS, ma'am, no? Kasi
it's a
yung
long
nag-check
process.
ako, 2022 pa ata yung last na, yung nung humingi ako ng kuan ba, data sa
Oh,
CBMS. 2022 pa yung last na naibigay.
uh-uh. Oo. Mark, you're from the private sector, no?
Public, ma'am, under DOH po. Pero sa
A nurse
municipality
pala
po
si
ako.
Juan.
Oo.
Nurse si Mark. So, yeah, we need to, we need to read also on the CBMS. I'm sure there would be some, especially there's someone in the PRB na, yeah, I was very much concerned. So, lahat naman sila, they're very concerned about that tool. So, now it has become a law. Anyway, we can go to PPP Center. So I think we have a few slides here. 1, 2, 3. Maganda kasi yung regional delineation for tomorrow natin yan. Because it's something regional delineation. It's political, it's scientific in the sense that how do we delineate regions, and in history kasi yung ano ninyo yung mga theories natin, and we know that there are many types of regions, but here the regional delineation is the political boundary. So anyway, the PPP, it's very important to know about PPP as an institution. So, it supports the development and implementation of PPP projects. What does it offer? It offers, do you know the PDMF? Someone here, PDMF, unmute.
Project Development and Monitoring Facility.
Correct. So PDMF is the Project Development and Monitoring Facility for pre-FS, pre-feasibility studies. Uh, what does it, another thing, LGU PPP training also, and technical assistance. So that's another offering of PPP Center. And then, of course, the guidelines, the templates and guidelines for JVAs, meaning the joint venture agreements and PPP proposals also. So we now have an updated threshold that as of 2024, PPP projects above 2.5 billion pesos still require ICC or NEDA board review. I will repeat that. PPP, we will have a dedicated lecture on PPP kasi it's a very important topic for in preparation of your board exams. PPP projects above 2.5 billion pesos still require ICC and NEDA board review. And projects below 2.5 billion can be approved at agency or LGU level, but must still follow PPP Center guidelines. Okay? So why it's relevant here? it's a strategic tool. These are strategic tools for LGUs to fund infrastructure, markets, water supply systems, solid waste management. Baka hindi natin alam yun, ano, but PPP centers support can be crucial in financing financial structuring, risk analysis, bid process design. So, what else? Again, what law created the PSA? Mark?
Hello, ma'am. I
Yeah,
mean,
what law created the PSA?
uh, hindi po, hindi po ako sure, ma'am.
Sige.
Wait. What law created PSA?
Sige, second question. Which NEDA attached agency develops PPP manuals for LGUs?
10625 pala yun. Yung
Okay.
sa
And then which NEDA attached agency develops PPP manuals for LGUs? I already mentioned it. Doon sa question pa lang.
Which NEDA, ano po yun? Which NEDA law?
Which NEDA attached agencies? I'm asking about which attached agency of NEDA develops PPP manuals for LGUs? Siyempre, PPP Center, di ba?
PPP.
Center. Okay. Which agency replaced both National Statistical Coordinating Board and NSO?
The PSA?
Correct. So these are just some of those easy questions. So we can go to the next one. Konti na lang. Okay? Yung ano kita yan? Next slide yan. Tingnan natin. Yan, we already discussed that. However, okay, those are the functions vis-a-vis major outputs. Okay, just be familiar with what you're seeing there. Okay, so under physical or land use and FEP, ito yung nirecite ninyo kanina. Okay, so you need to picture that in your mind. Okay. So National Physical Framework Plan. So that's the long-term spatial development strategy, and it provides guidance on settlement patterns, infra corridors, key production areas, protected zones, and resilience enhancing land uses. Then at the regional level, okay, that's the RPFP, which tailors national strategies or spatial strategies to the distinct geography, resources, and development priorities of each region. Why is it relevant? Of course, because RPFP is the regional spatial reference for your CLUP. So, and thus that the CLUP must be vertically aligned with RPFP, and but because we are talking about NEDA, but before the RPFP, we have the PDPFP, okay, at the provincial level, and then NPFP at the national, to avoid disjointed growth pattern. So that's the reason why we need to, the hierarchy, and it should be cross-referenced at all times, because we have to avoid disjointed growth patterns and uncoordinated infrastructure development or environmental degradation. So, development plans there, MTPDP and RDP, of course. We have the CDP and CLUP down the hierarchy. So the MTPDP, now simply called the Philippine Development Plan. Now, again, now simply called the Philippine Development Plan, is a 6-year blueprint for socio-economic development aligned with the administration's priorities and global commitments like the SDGs. So diyan lahat yung nag-a-align lahat yung kan natin. And so the Philippines is making sure through NEDA that we are contributing to the SDGs, and by achieving or fulfilling all those indicators for each SDG. The regional development plans reflect these national targets at the regional level and guide the development thrust of provinces and LGUs under the coordination of the RDCs, the Regional Development Councils. So, um, what else? Investment programs there is the MTPIP and the RDIP. So you need to be very familiar with this. The medium-term public investment program, or the MTPIP, operationalizes the PDP. Okay? Na yung MTPDP, it's now called PDP. It contains a pipeline of priority programs, because investment programs means these are the pipeline of priority programs and projects with indicative costs, implementing agencies, and potential funding sources. So at the regional level, the RDIP lists region-specific investment priorities derived from the um RDP. Okay? So if your proposed projects are not in the RDIP or PIP, okay, they are less likely to be included in the national budget. Therefore, your LDIP must be crafted with full awareness of the RDIP, or the RDIP should inform your should inform your LDIP to leverage funding and interagency support. Then we have the annual budget. I already mentioned that GAA and budget proposals of the GAA is the final translation of plans and programs into specific funding commitments for the fiscal year. It's informed by the PIP and the MTPIP. Okay? So, okay, we also have the RLAs, the regional line agencies, okay, submit their annual budget proposals based on their regional work programs aligned with the RDIP. Could be very confusing, but although LGUs prepare their own annual investment plans and budgets, they also coordinate with regional line agencies and national agencies to tap into resources through national programs and special purpose funds. And this is where intergovernmental coordination becomes critical. Okay? So I think we are okay with that. And so we can go to few slides. Dalawa na lang, okay? The RDC, this is very important, that what are the functions of the RDC? Primarily, it mirrors the NEDA board, okay? That the RDC performs similar functions at the regional level as the NEDA board does at the national level. And this include, yan, formulating the RDP, the Regional Development Plan, and the Regional Physical Framework Plan. Okay? Because physical framework is actually policy plans, while the regional development plans are, all development plans are sectoral in nature. So, and it also includes coordinating regional investment programming through the Regional Development Investment Program. Also, RDC has the task of reviewing and endorsing proposed projects from national government agencies and LGUs for inclusion in the Public Investment Program and GAA. So among the functions also includes monitoring and evaluating development programs and projects implemented in the region, so you don't forget the M&E component. Lots of things to do. So RDCs provide official endorsements for major LGU infra projects, especially those requiring ODA or PPP arrangements. A project without RDC endorsement often lacks political and technical weight at the national level. So that should be some of the major concerns of LGUs. And that's why RDC is political, di ba? Who comprises RDCs? The RDC is composed of both government and non-government representatives, reflecting the needs for multi-sectoral and multi-stakeholder participation in regional planning. The chairperson is usually the governor or a key official of the executive branch, often a cabinet secretary from a sector relevant to the region, while the co-chairperson comes from the private sector or civil society, such as chambers of commerce or NGOs. So both the chair and the co-chair are appointed by the President of the Philippines based on RDC guidelines set by NEDA. Okay. So this structure ensures intergovernmental and public-private collaboration in regional development. So there are also different committees. We can go to the last slide now. The last slide for tonight, so they can sleep. RDC sectoral. Okay. As the highest regional planning and policy coordination body, the RDC does not function in plenary alone. Much of its substantive work is carried out through sectoral, regular, and special committees, which handle technical reviews, development planning, and project endorsement processes. So these committees allow for focused dialogue across key sectors and ensure that regional priorities are well-grounded in data, technical analysis, and multi-stakeholder consultations. So macro, intersectoral, and finance committee is tasked with harmonizing cross-sectoral policy directions and fiscal frameworks. It often leads the integration of regional priorities into the RDP and RDIP. It also reviews budget proposals of regional line agencies or the RLAs and ensures alignment with the RDC endorsed plans. So this committee determines whether your proposed local programs or projects are consistent with the regional framework and funding strategies. It's actually a gateway to national budget support. Then, because you need to know, especially if you're from the LGU, you need to know your different committees. And so there's also what we call the Development Administration Committee. Kanina, Macro, Intersectoral, and Finance Committee. This committee, the Development Administration, focuses on improving governance systems, public administration, and institutional development. It reviews reforms and programs related to number one, local government strengthening, number two, digital transformation in governance. That's all about this one. And number three, planning and evaluation system. So for LGUs or for planners proposing local governments or local governance resource or reform projects. Okay, this could be where you need to go to institutional capacity building or digital planning tools. So what's again, Monica, what's RBME systems? So these are one of the planning tools, RBME.
Results-based monitoring and evaluation, ma'am.
Systems, correct. So, so this is the committee to engage with, okay? And infra, this is very obvious that this committee handles all infra-related development projects. What are these? Transport systems. So we have the roads, ports, airports, etc. Another one, water supply and sanitation. So we call that WATSAN. Then solid waste management, then energy, and telecom infrastructure. So it also, this committee also screens PPP proposals, large-scale investments, and feasibility studies before these are elevated to the full RDC or ICC. So if you're preparing proposals for solid waste waste management facilities, land development, flood control, or public markets, IDC enrollment. So IDC, meaning the Infra Development Committee endorsement, is often a prerequisite for funding and implementation. Now we go to Social Development Committee. It oversees programs in education, health, housing, labor, social protection, and gender inclusion. So gender inclusion. It ensures that development outcomes are inclusive, equitable, and pro-poor. CDPs and LDIPs must reflect social development priorities. So we may wish to interpret as planners, we interface with this committee when justifying investments in housing programs, relocation sites, for example, health centers, community services, etc. Economic Development Committee, so obviously, it reviews programs and projects affecting agriculture, fisheries, tourism, trade, industry, enterprise development, and economic resilience, among others. And it promotes region-specific competitiveness and supports local value chains. So, as planners, we prepare proposals related to ecotourism development, for example, or agribusiness zones or economic growth corridors. We must consider the committee's priorities and endorsements. And so other committees, the special or cross-cutting examples, the Regional Statistical Coordinating Committee. Remember that this committee helps ensure that planners use harmonized indicators and methodologies in our plans. And so we also have the RPMC, the Regional Project Monitoring Committee, that monitors and evaluates the implementation of programs and projects under the RDIP and GAA funded initiatives. So it's a key structure in RBME, or the results-based monitoring and evaluation. So in our project we must submit regular reports and be evaluated based on target outputs and outcomes tracked by this committee. And of course, the regional land use committee ensures alignment between CLUPs and then the higher hierarchy, which is the RPFP and the RDP. It often reviews local land use proposals, inter-LGU boundary issues, okay, and spatial integration. So any comprehensive land use planning effort must eventually pass through the committee's scrutiny. So how about the Regional Committee on Sustainable Development? This is okay. It coordinates implementation of SDGs at the regional level. It ensures that plans and investments align with sustainability principles. What are these principles? Number one, environmental protection. Then number two, climate resilience. And three, resource management. And so we need to be preparing, climate resilient infra, protected areas development, or circular economy programs could also be under this one, and it will find this committee a key ally. So, and then Regional Gender and Development Coordinating Committee. It focuses on mainstreaming gender and development, or GAD, in regional planning and budgeting. It ensures compliance with the Magna Carta of Women. I hope you're familiar with this, and probably they might ask questions on RA 9710. Which is the Magna Carta of Women, because this is related to the GAD programs that we have in LGUs. And so also the GAD budget guidelines, we must be very familiar, at least with what it contains and what are its focus. So planners are also expected to show how CLUPs and CDPs address gender gaps in access to housing, jobs, safety, mobility, and many others. So, yeah, I think that's all for tonight. We will, Jen, can you proceed to the next so that they can see it? So we will have regional delineation tomorrow. This is I tell you, this is one of the most important topics and most important focus, or a favorite topic or items for your board exam, okay? Regional delineation. So now, okay, Jen, take it away. So 14 na lang. Basta